What's up, you guys? It's Dragon Ball Super Tuesday. So excited to bring this to you again this week, and hopefully this week we don't lose the video for copyright infringement. I think we've got some ideas on how to fix that, so let's just jump right into it. This week's video is for episode 32. If you aren't familiar with that episode, look in the description bar below. I imagine you can find a link right about now for gogoanime.io. That'll take you where you can watch the episodes. Now, episode 32, the match begins. Everyone head to the Nameless Planet. This one was a lot of fun. There's a lot of entertainment to it. Now, the episode drags a little long for people that want to get straight to the action. Be aware of that when you sit down to watch it. But the opening of the episode, you're outside Capsule Corp, and everybody's getting ready to board the spaceship, or as Whis points out, it's not a spaceship, it's a cube. And it's got some kind of like liquid walls, and you just walk right into it, and that's how Whis is going to transport everybody there. It looks like everybody's there except Goku and Vegeta. Of course, they're late. They've been training. Now, that led to one of the first moments where you're like, wow, that just happened. Goku and Vegeta use instant transmission to get there, or Goku uses it and Vegeta tags along, and they show up with their clothes all torn up, looking disheveled, and more importantly, with beards. Bulma sends them to the showers, they get cleaned up, and they shave their beards, and I'm really disappointed about that. I would love to have seen any form of Super Saiyan, regardless of what form it was, any form of Super Saiyan with a beard. That would have been really cool. See, the question becomes, does the beard stand up? Does it get longer with each level of Super Saiyan? How does that work? I would have loved to have seen the beards hang around. So when they get back, everybody's just about to get on the cube, and here comes Krillin running in, and another one of the really funny moments. Apparently, he was late because he had to take a poop. Who hasn't been late for something because they had to take a poop before? It's very embarrassing, and Goku rubs it in. Once they're all on the cube, again, another funny thing pops up is almost as soon as the cube leaves Earth, Whis does that thing with the staff. He stabs the cube, and it takes off flying. Goten and Trunks are the first ones we see talking about something that smells, and you can guess where this is going. Majin Buu. Well, he farted. In close confines. Not cool, bro. You know, they've got some exploits going on. They're on their way initially towards Beerus's planet. They get there, they're told, you can take some pictures, do what you want, just don't post anything online. And then we see Lord Beerus and Monaka. Monaka is said to be the strongest fighter in the universe, not named Whis or Beerus. That's in Universe 7, of course. And Goku has been like a school kid, giddy to meet this guy. We get another one of those funny moments when we discover that his nickname means he has great nipples. I'm curious, that's another one of those situations where I'm curious how it translates over. The pooping, the fart jokes, the nipples, Bulma's boobs, how do they translate that when they dub it over? I don't know, but Goku and Vegeta are very unimpressed by Monaka, and who would be impressed by Monaka? He's little, he's kind of pinkish, he's got big nipples, he's scrawny, there's nothing special about him, he's just wearing a green unitard. And Vegeta even says that, he says he doesn't look that impressive. And Goku wants to actually spar with Monaka before they travel on to the Nameless Planet. Beerus puts the kibosh on that real quick, and he's like, no, your opponents are the Universe 6 guys. Goku, you know how he is, he's like a kid, and he catches Monaka, gives him this funny look, and then he just hauls off and punches him in the face. And the punch connects, and he squishes him. There are tears, all this stuff. And Goku says, I thought he'd be able to dodge it, even though he wasn't looking. Beerus loses his mind, says, you never listen, that kind of thing. And I don't know if that's foreshadowing for something to come, but I do know that it means there's got to be some kind of transformation for Monaka. Gotta be. Because if there's not, this guy is totally useless. Goku smushed him real good, and that was in base form, no transformation required. So we'll see about that. But once that was over, they get on the cube and they fly to the Nameless Planet. About 2.5 hours later, they arrive, and you get this really cool shot coming in of the cube approaching the Nameless Planet and revealing the Super Dragon Balls. There are lots of famous reveal scenes in sci-fi movies, but this one stuck out to me. It reminded me of Star Trek the Motion Picture. Inside the V'ger cloud, there were all these planets and things moving by, and they used weird angles to show off the comparison of the size of the ship versus the stuff inside. And they had a shot like that where the cube was kind of centered in front of one of the stars on the Super Dragon Balls. Once that's over, they land on the planet, and everybody makes fun of Champa for a little bit because his design was tacky, and Whis dresses it up with some fancy seating for all the attendees. And we get to see the Kais. You see, we've got the U7 Kais that we're familiar with. Elder Kai, Supreme Kai, and Kibito. And to be quite honest, I'm not sure, is Kibito a Kai? I don't know. But you might notice I said they were separate, Supreme Kai and Kibito. That's because they use the Namekian Dragon Balls. Now, one of two things is going to happen with this. It's either going to be a plot point that Supreme Kai, Kibito, one of them is needed for something, or it's necessary for them to be separate. That's a possibility. There's also the possibility that the fact that the Namekian Dragon Balls have been used recently is going to come into play as a plot point. I don't know, but you don't just do things like that for no reason. Not even Akira Toriyama does that. While Goku is conversing with Kibito and Kai about their split, we see the U6 Kais for the first time, and they're talking about how chummy the humans are and the Saiyans are with the gods. And Goku goes over and introduces himself, and when he's leaving, the U6 Kais say to Elder Kai, "You're friends with that one," or "You're friends with that human." And he says, "We've been through a lot." Obviously, that's a throwback to the Buu Saga and all that they went through, and of course Battle of Gods as well, where, as Elder Kai mentions, he thought he was a goner when Beerus and Goku were fighting, but they survived anyway. So, several references to things that have happened in the past here. Once Goku goes off from the Kais, we get introduced to the U6 team members. There's Frost, who looks just like Frieza for the most part, just with different coloring. And there's another possible Frieza race type character. I'm not sure what he is. There's a robot. There's Botamo, who is the bear looking dude. And Goku says that one looks like a bear. And then there's Kaba, the Saiyan. And he's a small Saiyan because his Saiyans stayed on Planet Plant. His Saiyans stayed on Planet Salad. They never took Planet Plant. They never renamed it Planet Vegeta. And they're a warrior race, but not like Vegeta's Saiyans. These Saiyans battle against evil for good, and as Goku points out, pretty much the opposite of what U7 got. I think this is another plot point that's going to be used. Vegeta and Kaba talk about Vegeta visiting Planet Plant in U6 at some point. Hopefully that implies that we'll get some travel into Universe 6 and get to see that. But they go and take their test, and as opposed to in the manga where Buu fails, Buu falls asleep this time, and Goku says, once he's asleep. He's kind of stuck there. Beerus is a little upset. They lose a team member that way. Beerus says, "You'll just have to win for him." And he names Monaka as the last fighter to go. The other three, Goku, Vegeta, and Piccolo, decide their order by rock, paper, scissors, and Goku gets to go first. So Goku's going to fight Botamo, and they get to the ring. We do get the Universe Anthem, which is a one-line song sung by a penguin. Pretty cool. But they get to the ring. They both step in. Goku looks great. Botamo looks like a teddy bear. The announcer comes in. He says, "Begin," and cut to the credits. Overall, a really good episode. Sets the stage for the fights to come up. If you've looked ahead at the titles, you know that we're going to get a couple of weeks of this. Frost is coming up next. We know what's coming for the most part. This episode, though, a lot of fun. Sets everything up. We're in good order. The tension is kind of built. And then if you watch the preview for next week's episode, Golden Super Saiyan is making its return. Now, we all know Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan has been a big part of the beginning of the show. It looked like via all the promotional material, Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan was going to be the form for this tournament. But in the previews, we get Golden Goku. And we know that he's having a tough time. He was obviously going to transform at some point. Just surprised to see that. And I don't know if that means that Goku and Vegeta can transform to their other Super Saiyan states without tapping into God Ki. Does it mean you can't use God Ki on the Nameless Planet? Does it mean they're restricted from using God Ki? Does it mean God Ki's coming later? Who knows? But it does leave a lot of questions like I just asked and set up next week really well. We'll, of course, do that on Dragon Ball Super Tuesday for episode 33 next week. If this video stays up, of course. If it doesn't, I'm pretty much done at this point. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I've got a link, like I said, down below for gogoanime.io for you to go watch the episodes. Tell me what you thought about the episode, though. Episode 32, the match begins. Everyone head to the Nameless Planet. Did you enjoy it? For me, this might have been my favorite episode yet. Like this video if you want to see more of it. Subscribe, of course, if you want to see more of this. I'll do Dragon Ball stuff, and of course, there's a ton of video game stuff here. So tell me what you thought, and I'll see you guys on Thursday with another video. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.